Well, again, this week I was able to get together with our very own two girls from Utah to get their perspective on last week's show. Now, of course, as usual, we have no idea what they have on their minds, but I have a sneaking suspicion that this week they won't be as highly critical as they have been in some previous weeks, given the fact that they helped co-host the show last week. So, ladies, welcome.
Thank you.
Shut up, Rich.
So tell me what you think of the show last week.
Well, besides the sound quality sucking and all the confusion.
Easy killer.
We were kind of working on short notice last week, I think, weren't we? I mean, you guys were nice enough.
The host running off to chase chickens?
Yeah, and plus you guys were nice enough to sit in and help me out when Mac and Morgan abandoned me.
Yeah, I noticed.
They don't get no more vacations.
Hey, here's the good news, though. I think I got the audio fixed this week.
I think
Yay.
you have sound. Now you get to hear all of us in stereo.
Oh, yeah. Great.
Shell, you're missing your opportunity here.
Missing the opportunity.
Because I got to confess, now, who fixed the audio quality this week?
That would be Smart Shelly. Only me.
That's right. Because last week, the reason the audio sucked last week was Shell had a headset on, and Suze was trying to talk into the microphone on Shell's headset because we were only connecting up one computer. And it suddenly became painfully obvious.
I needed to move into the 90s and get a headphone.
And so now they're working off of two separate computers, and so we're able to adjust their audio a little bit better than we did in the past. So hopefully that will change. And I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Shell did come up with that solution.
It was all me.
She
it was
did.
all me. He's the one with the studio, but I figured it out.
Well, here's the deal, though. Here's what I'm interested in.
Let me bask in my glory.
Here's what I'm interested in, okay? You're basking in your glory, but, you know, there have been a time or two when you girls were a little bit rough, and me and Mac and Morgan, about the quality of the show. Words like lame come into mind and things like this.
You better bask in that glory. That was your word.
Look at her pointing her fingers at me like she wasn't involved at all.
Okay, now this past week you had an opportunity to sit in and see how much fun this stuff is to do live, and how, you know, we make fun of Mac for butchering names and things like that, but, you know, like reading those emails, a little tougher than what you thought it was going to be, girls?
Exactly.
We didn't know you were going to make us read. You know, we did come from a trailer park.
Is this Utah?
You know, in the past, all we had to do was just spurt out whatever we wanted to say. But no, you wanted to script, you know.
Little harder whenever you got to work under some rules, isn't it?
Yeah, rules. I hate rules.
Well, they're not really rules. They're kind of like guidelines, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, mini-me.
Let me ask you this: Did you find it a little difficult to be witty on the spot?
Yes, very.
Yeah, shit's a little harder whenever you're live and you're doing
it. I found
Susan
running around chasing those chickens.
Oh, yeah, I was pretty witty chasing those chickens, but
it's a little tougher whenever you don't have a week to listen to the thing and think about your response and all that stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody owes somebody an apology?
Yes, I owe all three of you guys an apology. I tell you what, I wouldn't want to do that every week. Takes a lot of work, a lot of time, and a lot more computer savvy than I've got in years. I couldn't get it. So I appreciate you guys doing it. Oh, listen to her. La-di-da-di-da.
You want me to do it?
She's trying to say I'm long-winded, okay?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. What I'm waiting for is her apology. I haven't heard it yet.
Oh, see? I can't get over there and beat her. I'm lame today. She's yelling at me to sit down.
Hey, I only told the truth at the time. Yes, we also sucked.
Good.
And we're lame.
And we were also lame. But
well, this week we don't even have a story to talk about because you guys handled everything last week. But I was kind of curious. We still had George's segment.
George.
And, if you remember, this is the segment where George and his partner chased a guy over the fences and all that stuff like that. And George.
Oh, yeah. George was a superhero.
Yeah, what did you think about George's adventure there?
Oh, we love George.
We can't ever find any criticism when it comes to him.
George can do no wrong. I wish he was here with my chickens.
I knew you girls were going to say that, but what I want to call to your attention was George may not do any wrong, but George also didn't do shit in that episode. Okay? It was his buddy that jumped all the fences, that eventually caught the guy and all that stuff like that. Mr. Joe Rugby athlete and all that shit, he got left in the dust.
Isn't that what a probie's for?
I don't know. But he was quick to criticize even his partner there about being huffing and puffing and all that stuff like that. And so I got the impression here comes Super George, with his chest all out and all that stuff like that. But it was Mr. Huffy and Puffy that caught the guy and took him in and booked his ass. So
there you go.
Only because he's been hanging out with George.
I'm just saying. I think
just saying.
A little bit of jealousy and envy with George because we love him.
Yeah.
All 350-pound pimply faces of him.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, George is actually away on vacation right now, so he's.
I know, what is this? Everybody's gone.
Gin and tonics even as we speak, but this must have been like International Vacation Week or 2
month.
Weeks or whatever. What do those British people do? They do fortnights.
Fortnights, yeah. This is a couple of fortnights.
Anyway, so I guess that's all we got to talk about this week. But in all seriousness, all kidding aside, I really appreciate you girls coming and help me out.
Oh, we appreciate you guys more than you'll ever know. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, they don't get no more vacations. Time to get their asses back home and do their jobs.
Hey,
come entertain us.
I want to be boating next time.
Hey, I was wondering, did you girls get that picture of Morgan on the beach?
No. I want one.
I wonder who has that.
Morgan on the beach.
Yeah. Morgan's going to Cancun, so you didn't hear the earlier part of the show, but
so he'd be beaching.
Yeah, he'd be beaching. And,
he'd be beached?
Last time he went to the beach, someone produced a picture of him on the beach, and I can't remember who that someone was, but I know they have the picture.
Was he wearing his padded biker shorts?
No.
I've been looking forward to that picture.
See, what Morgan does is he wears his padded biker shorts, but he turns them around backwards so that the padding is in the front. But
that's called
don't
protection.
Don't tell anybody, though. Don't tell anybody.
Padding. That's protection at that point.
All right, ladies, I think that'll about do it for this week. Now, make sure you listen to the show this week. And, Suze, listen to George, too, okay, for a change.
Well, I hear him, but, it's just the lulling effect. It's like, okay. George could read me the encyclopedia, and I wouldn't care.
All right, ladies. Well, have a wonderful week, and we'll look forward to talking to you next week.
Okay, thanks, Rich.